Probably the biggest reveal in the latest Battlefield 6 roadmap is the confirmation that Naval Warfare is finally coming in Season 4. And yeah, this is the one people have been waiting for. Because adding Naval Warfare doesn't just widen the sandbox, it opens the game up in a different way. But it also comes with something a lot of players may not really think about when they actually start playing it. These maps, by necessity, are going to need to be massive. And now the real question becomes, how fast do we actually get into the thick of it? So today, I want to talk about why I'm genuinely excited for Naval Warfare, but also what comes with it once you actually load into those maps, such as the traversal times, the pacing, and how that actually plays out in each match that you play going forward. For my subs, grab your snacks and drinks. If you're new here, man, I'm just a dude talking about video games. Are we ready? We're not just getting Naval Warfare this summer, guys. We're also getting the new Tsuru Reef map and Wake Island as a remaster or redesign. Tsuru Reef is allegedly the big one, massive tropical archipelago set in southern Japan. It is being described as the largest map in Battlefield 6 history and has been designed specifically for sea, air, and land integration. Now, with that, we're getting the redesigned Wake Island map, the nostalgia anchor, no pun intended. And a lot of players sat up straighter in their chairs at the announcement of naval combat in Tsuru Reef. Several, if not all, really seemed excited for Wake Island's return. For those not in the know, Wake Island is one of the most beloved and iconic maps in Battlefield's history. I mean, it's more than a fan favorite. This map has been featured multiple times since its introduction in Battlefield 1942. It appeared in the original version in 1942, Battlefield Vietnam in the Battlefield Vietnam World War II mod, again in 2007 featured in Battlefield 2, again in Battlefield 2142, a hidden version feature in Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, but it was downscaled for consoles. Battlefield Heroes, another version was in Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Online, Battlefield 3 Back to Karkland, and lastly Battlefield 5 War in the Pacific. So yeah, you could say this was a popular map. And I see Wake Island pop up at least once or twice every day when surfing the web regarding Battlefield content. And it will be interesting to see how they modernize it for this map. See, I'm a guy who is interested in innovation and evolution. Wake Island almost has that sacred vibe when people talk about it, and perhaps genuinely rightly so. Aside from it being a fan favorite, the original map was a ton of fun to play on. However, it has been criticized overtly in later iterations, mostly from a "it doesn't feel the same" point of view. I don't operate often like that. If an iconic map is coming as an updated version, I am immediately interested. I'm always curious to see how a redesign might work. We as players shouldn't be stuck in the same loop with every release, in my opinion. Nostalgia doesn't require the exact same thing every time. Bring me the map, but bring me something new I could do with it. Could DICE bring us back the exact same thing, just with improved graphics? Well, I think so, but why should they? No, I think the map's return is fine with modern art design, graphics, and with new toys to play with. New mechanics to experience. Familiar, but new. My biggest concern here, not only with Wake Island, but with Tsuru Reef, is traversal times. These are supposed to be two massive maps. So, how long is it going to take to get to start killing things? Right now, I feel the HQ areas we currently have are a bit too big. DICE was trying to compensate from the overly large maps in 2042 to shave off traversal times to get engagement started sooner. I feel this is partially where the disconnect is. A lot of the feedback for 2042 from several players showcased a major complaint of maps just being too big and how players spent a lot of time running to get from one point to the other. EA flat out said bigger maps didn't automatically make them a better game and had to start scaling things back. And I think they scaled back a bit too much compared to Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 6, but I understand why they did it. And I don't have much of a problem with that in practice. The older titles prior to 2042 had some long-ass on-foot running before you could even see your first opposing player. Karg Island is one example. Gulf of Oman was another. And those are two of my top 10 favorite maps of all time. And yes, I would like to see the HQ areas resized a bit smaller, but also want the engagement time to start as quickly as possible too. I'm excited for Naval Warfare, but I am also interested in seeing how they handle that traversal time. Now, I've mentioned map size before in previous videos and got some flack for it. Some suggesting I was flat out wrong about the complaints of map sizes back in 2042. So, as I did last time, I included a few links from Game Informer and Tech Radar for you to, check out and see how I backed up my claim here. They live in the video description for your convenience. With the new Naval Warfare map drops, DICE is including a new dynamic wave system for the water content. DICE confirmed that the ocean conditions wouldn't just be a visual. They advised that the mechanic will mask player movement, disrupt visibility, and deflect incoming fire. Now, this really piqued my interest up another notch. I wasn't expecting the ocean to just be flat and lack character, but the way DICE described this feature immediately reminded me of Paracel Storm from Battlefield 4. If Naval Warfare is returning to Battlefield 6, I would very much like to see Paracel Storm also make a return. The water mechanics in Paracel Storm are similar in behavior to the new dynamic wave system coming to Battlefield 6. When we played Paracel, waves blocked lines of sight, made aiming a bit more challenging, especially when the weather dynamic kicked in, and even jumped up and caught RPG rockets like, nope, sorry player, you won't get that kill with that round, and then dipped back into the water with the middle finger being silent. And I'm curious to see if the dynamic wave system does indeed match the old one. I mean, you're on a rib, chasing another rib, or perhaps a speedboat or sea-doo, and you're not just humming along. That rib is going to bounce. A lot. And if you weren't familiar with Paracel Storm's mechanic, the dynamic wave system might be a challenging effect on you. Adjust fire and redeploy. Along with the new dynamic wave system, DICE is showing in the roadmap that fully operational aircraft carriers are coming. These are being described as mobile bases with working flight decks for takeoffs and landings. They aren't just static spawns anymore. They are functioning POIs. Mobile bases of operations. This too made me sit up a little straighter. Fucking aircraft carriers for one thing, now they're mobile? In Gulf of Oman, for example, one team launched from a carrier, but it was static. Most of us use ribs and choppers to get to the beach area and then start destroying shit. Now these bad boys are not only mobile, they have fully functional toys to play with. Perhaps things like the RIM-162 Sea Sparrow missile system, or the RIM-116 rolling airframe missile systems, Phalanx CIWS chain cannons. Even the flight decks claim to not only take off, but land. What would be cool, since these things are moving, would be boarding them and attacking players occupying them, like in the Naval Strike expansion from Battlefield 4. In the Battlefield 4 carrier assault mode, each team started with a carrier. When a carrier's health reached 0 via missile launchers, its hull is breached. Players could then board the enemy carrier by boat, helicopter, or parachute, navigate its interior, and destroy MCOM stations. I would very much like to see this return. Or perhaps see no one's out of bounds if they land on an enemy carrier in, say, Conquest. And all this naval combat is coming to both REDSEC and the core game. Now, most of you know I'm not big into REDSEC. It's aight, just not my jam. But adding naval combat to it? I may have a different opinion then. REDSEC will receive an aircraft carrier as a POI added to the Fort Linden map. So, I guess just off the coast? I'd be interested in seeing how they include this, or if it's a new sector, like a different area of the map, a second map, if you will. When it drops, I'm definitely going to check it out. And with the inbound server browser updates, players can then host 24/7 naval-only rotations. This alone is already a ton of content if that was the only thing that was dropping. Guys, I know there's so much more to this in the roadmap. The roadmap includes a ton of stuff. Proximity chat, the aforementioned server browser, ranked mode, spectator mode, new weapons, gear and vehicles, platoons. Hell, there's rumors of commander mode coming back. And if true, that would be an awesome redeployment. So yes, it's not just naval warfare, but I just wanted to take a simple few minutes just to touch upon the naval warfare in a little bit more detail than I did in Monday's video. Because as I said, this changes things a little bit, or maybe a lot, in how the game is played. But it also asks the question, will it bring players back? It seems several people just walked away from Battlefield 6, and the reasons varied. Some have commented on this channel that they feel a bit burned by EA in regards to this game. Although I don't dismiss their feelings about that, I don't necessarily agree with the bulk of the reasons or the logic. No, logic's not the right word. Let's go with reasonings behind the reasons. Yeah, I think that sounds a bit better. I don't necessarily agree with the reasonings behind their reasons. I think I get the gist of where most of them are coming from, though. Some, however, are just way too emotional in their reasons to not fire up the game. I'm not here suggesting my opinions are right or the better choice to listen to. I'm simply saying how I feel about the game, the inbound content deployment, and how much I've had fun playing it. I may be hyped, but I'm aware that some are skeptical, some dubious, some still Mr. Angry Pants. For those of you excited, I share that with you. For those of you who are not, look, let me clarify something here for you. I firmly believe everyone is entitled to their opinion. We all have them. And you and I might disagree, which is fine. But man, if you're gonna drop a comment disagreeing with me, just know this channel isn't about drama or picking fights. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions, but be a goddamn adult about it. If that is beyond your capability, just don't bother. You're just going to look dumb in the comment section screaming like an infant. I'm 51 years old, my dudes. I don't have time or the inclination to deal with twat waffles. We're here to have fun, sirs, not regulate your emotional shortcomings. But if you have an adult-level thought, opinion, or point of view to make, man, drop them in the comments. The video starts the conversation, and we take it there. All that aside, the next 3 seasons address a lot of player feedback, including the content. We're getting the things, my hood rats. The sandbox is getting larger and more dense. I am not going to sit here and cross my arms and harumph that some of this should have been here since launch. Launch was 6 months ago. It's April now. And in a short few weeks, things start rolling in. The game is starting to come along, and this roadmap seems to suggest that this is just the beginning. And I am here for it. Naval Warfare looks to be a big missing piece the game has been needing. The question is, again, will this bring players back? Will we see a rise in the ever goddamn Steam chart numbers everyone so loves to talk about? Will this be a massive improvement for everyone concerned? That question I personally have doubts, seeing that continual bitching since the roadmap launched, but they're always gonna be miserable basement trolls. Nothing this game or franchise does is going to please them. Are we going to see mastery for the aircraft weapons? Will the aircraft carriers circle the reef or Wake Island? Or will they just operate like the train control point at Goldman Railway? Will we be able to snipe to the reef or island from the carrier like we did in Gulf of Oman? Does Paracel Storm have an opportunity to come back into the franchise because we're getting Naval Warfare? Does this also mean Gulf of Oman would find its way in Battlefield 6? I have so many questions, as I'm sure you do as well. Drop your questions in the comment section, and I'd love to hear them. But it's better late than never, right? I see nothing but air and opportunity here, folks. More reasons to log in and fuck up somebody's day. New maps, new toys, and a ton of extras. And it's here now. So we can start squadding up, find an aircraft carrier, and jump. Do we praise the gaming gods and be on our merry way? Oh, hells no. You keep dropping the feedback. I don't suggest screaming at them. That's not feedback, that's a temper tantrum. I said feedback. And Battlefield dropped a new survey yesterday, so run the survey. I dropped it in the video description with the other links. You have your thoughts and opinions, so drop them there. I mean, yeah, sure, drop them into the comments, but man, EA ain't paying me. EA most likely doesn't even know I exist, so if you want your voices heard, go do the survey. Keep giving them feedback, the things you want to see in the game, the changes you want made, the ideas you have. You never know. You might just see them drop in the game in the future. Remember, kiddos, we're here to have fun. We're here to play. Some of us can find the fun. Others, well, I guess they can't. Or won't. Meanwhile, we hood rats are gathered round, sharing stories, memories of past games, and having a grand time squatting up, hanging out in the Discord, and talking mad shit in the game. And some of you decided to support the channel by liking the video, liking the comments in the video, sending the video hype points, commenting, sharing, even subbing. The road to 3K subs marches on. We are so very close, folks. And if you're into my channel's vibe of kicking back and talking game stuff, consider the sub. And it's not just Battlefield 6 we talk about. The latest survey shows a really strong interest in War Dogs. Bellum has a little interest, as well as Gray Zone Warfare. Speaking of, since we're dropping other titles into the channel, Friday's video is another Gray Zone Warfare journal entry. I switched factions because a friend of mine wasn't available when I launched the game, and he got upset by that. Well, that's what happens when I'm left unsupervised, sir. Anyway, so I wiped the character and started over and started rerunning the first missions. So if Gray Zone's your thing or have some interest in it, come check out Friday's drop. My members, you are my favorite hood rats. You decided that for some strange reason, subbing wasn't enough. You joined the membership program to add further support to the channel's growth. And I thank you for that, always. Discord is open for those interested in joining. We generally use Discord for Battlefield 6 comms, and we have channels for other games. If interested, the link is included in the video description. If for whatever reason that link doesn't work, come find me in the video's comment section and let me know. I'll provide a freshly baked link for you. There's a shit ton of plugs here on the channel, Platoon Friends, other channels in the HBD network. Basically more content for you, so go check them out. Content creation is hard work, so go check their stuff out. Yes, merch store, membership, social, support options, everything a normal channel has. You should all know by now where these things live, and I'm assuming my audience is smart and doesn't need hand-holding. Lastly, the most important thing. We all here love our video games, and we love talking about them. However, at the very bottom of the video description segment is something I feel is more important than games. Each month I showcase a veteran support group, and for April, it's the Wounded Warriors Project. There's a brief bio and a link for you to review. See if you're interested in supporting our troops. And with that, I leave you to grind out the rest of your day and hope to see you back here Friday. Till then, out.